Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome Mr. Michael Finn, please? Michael Finn is the only person outside Japan to hold 18 Dan grades. Now, what's a Dan grade?
A Dan grade is a black belt ranking in the grading system.
Yeah, that means you're extremely good at doing anything.
It means you're well on the way.
What tempted you towards all this martial art business?
Well, I started when I was about 8. Started judo. I've been training for about 27 years, and I went to Japan for 2 years intensive training.
Well, you were a policeman ever?
That's right, for 9 years.
So you were used to self-defence and things?
Yes, it came in handy. It meant that I could arrest people without injuring them. Because obviously the more you learn, the more control you have.
Right.
And the less force you
A
have.
lot of it is hard. Your philosophy, briefly, now, to tell us all what to wrap it at what you've actually been doing. It's partly to do with revenge, isn't it, that you're working out?
Well, the basic idea of training in modern sword technique is to develop yourself, your self-control, to unite your mind and body through the blade, through the training.
A last lingering trick before... Well, it's not a trick, it's an exercise.
That's right, yes.
It involves your friend again here. Now, what's he going to do?
What I'll do is it's a question of control of the blade, and he'll place this on his arm.
Just let's show them what that is, in case they don't know. It's a courgette.
And I'll cut it, probably without cutting his arm.
Now, this is part of the stuff where you actually practice precision.
That's right, yes. And it works 9 times out of 10.
Off you go. Keep quiet, please, everybody. Quiet. Thank you to Michael Finn and to the brave Alex and to the...
Yes,
Mike Finn is an ex-metropolitan policeman. He's been running the elite martial academy for 5 years, and his track record of Japanese black belts runs like an encyclopedia of Far Eastern fighting techniques.
No, not head first.
He's not teaching martial arts to the ladies, but borrowing some of their physical and psychological tactics.
The technique was there. I think the idea came to me when I was in Japan. I realised there was more to self-defence than just going in and striking and punching and throwing. And I started to look into different aspects. I became interested in developing self-defence as a complete subject.
What are you for? Oh, shit! God, I didn't touch you! I didn't mean to touch you! Come on, get off!
Like something out of a nightmare, 2 brawlers had appeared out of the blue. Of all places, they'd chosen the entrance to the martial arts. Finally, there's a guest appearance from 2 vaguely familiar gentlemen. We all learned that the terrible fight was in fact staged. A brief taste of fear for the girls.
Mike Finn, a 41-year-old Londoner, is probably the most highly qualified martial arts instructor in the world. The holder of no fewer than 40 black belts in separate disciplines.
The public just don't have enough information about martial arts and what it's about.
I would have thought just to know a little bit about self-defence was better than not knowing anything at all.
No, a little knowledge is very dangerous. It's better for you to know nothing and rely on your natural instincts if you're in trouble than to try and do some sort of technique you've only just been taught that's not going to work.
Sounds like a minefield. How do you go about choosing the right school?
Well, the first thing you have to do is to decide why you want to train. There's martial arts for everything. Judo is competitive, some karate is competitive and some isn't. Tai Chi is ideal for health. Some people will take a skill such as sword drawing up for personal development. So the first question is, why do I want to train? The next question is, how hard do I want to train? Because if you go to a competitive club, you can expect a very hard workout. Having decided that, make sure that you go to at least 2 or 3 clubs and see a lesson from beginning to end.
So what should you look out for if you go along to a lesson?
Well, first of all, you'll want to see if the classes are run properly. Discipline is an important part because you're throwing and striking and so forth. If there's no discipline, if the class is unruly, leave it out. As far as the instructor's concerned, it would be important to ask him, for example, if he is a black belt, how long he's been training, which organisation the club is affiliated to, and ask him when he was graded to black belt, what grade he is when he was graded. And if you're not happy with that, you can then check those details with the organisation. There are a number of national organisations. For example, in karate, there are over 20 national organisations. It is difficult. There is a lot of internal bickering and so forth. But most of the national organisations are quite helpful.
So, if you want to avoid the Kung Fu Cowboys, pay a visit to 2 or 3 different clubs before you sign up. Look out for dangerous techniques such as strangleholds and arm locks, which should never be taught to children, and keep a careful eye on the standard of discipline. Finally, insist on getting a full list of the instructor's qualifications and check them with whatever national organisation he says he belongs to.
The case has again raised the controversial issue of the methods used to restrain prisoners. Phil Bales has been to meet a former policeman who now advises officers on arrest and restraint techniques.
You can go that way, you can go that way, and that's an end to it.
Well, it's all right for you to say. It's all right. Hey.
An argument's getting out of control. Former Met police officer Mike Finn tries to calm it down. When he can't, his tactics change.
Well, you better do that. Come here. All right, stop. Enough.
Okay. You're under arrest. Come with me.
Mike's taught police officers in the States and Japan and advised the Home Office on arrest and restraint techniques. Yet it's still given a low priority in this country, less than half a week during basic training.
The problem is that at present the police tuition on self-defence is, I consider, minimal. So subsequently, when the officer gets onto the street in a real situation, because it's not a part of him, frequently that will all go out the window and he'll just do whatever comes naturally. It's an instinctive thing.
Poor technique not only puts the prisoner at risk, but the officer too, according to Mike. Yet properly trained, one person could subdue all but the most violent suspects, he says. Once down, it's almost impossible for volunteer Assad to get up.
Right, stand up. Now, you can't do it on your stomach. You need to turn this way, side on.
It's rare that a suspect has to be left face down. Then a second officer should watch him, ensuring that he's breathing.
Off we go.
Above all, to protect himself and the suspect too, the officer must know what he's doing.
If my thumb isn't controlling your thumb, you can still twist your hand out harder. That's it, okay? But if I use my thumb against your thumb, now you start to struggle to here.
Right, I can't get out of that one.
If the mechanics are correct,
I can't harm you.
You can't harm me, and I can keep you under control.